Well, a heartbreaking story this year that refocused our country on the issues and dangers of bullying and cyberbullying came to us from BC. 15-year-old Amanda Todd posted a video online about being bullied to the point of depression, and then in October she took her own life. The more than 8-minute video was viewed by millions. Amanda Todd used flashcards to tell her story about being tormented and exploited over the internet and also being beaten up at school. She writes that she cried every night and suffered anxiety, depression, and panic disorder. News of the teen's death sparked outrage and grief online, and vigils were held across Canada and around the world to bring awareness to the problems of bullying. Well, earlier this year, a deadly crash took 11 lives. Many of the victims were working here, trying to provide their families with a better life back home.
No one ever expects to see something that much carnage. It was definitely a terrible scene.
In fact, the OPP called this crash the deadliest in the province in decades. 13 migrant workers, mostly from Peru, were traveling in this extended van when it was hit by a tractor trailer at Perth Road 107 and Line 47 north of Shakespeare. Stress counselors were called in to help the first responders who tried to save the people who somehow survived this horrific crash. Incredibly, 3 men inside the van were pulled from the twisted wreckage alive, but 10 others died, and the driver of the tractor trailer, Christopher Fulton of London, also died. The crash happened on the day of his 11th wedding anniversary. Well, as we move into the top 10 of our countdown, if you didn't hear the names Rae Jepsen or Psy this year, or somehow didn't hear at least a few beats of Call Me Maybe or Gangnam Style, well, you were living under a rock.
Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy, but here's my number, so call me maybe.
Canadian Rae Jepsen exploded onto the music scene not just here this year, but internationally. Once Justin Bieber tweeted a video spoofing her catchy Call Me Maybe, it took off. The song netted Jepsen several awards at shows around the world. It was named MTV's Song of the Year, and in fact, she played the Grey Cup halftime show and is now the opening act on Bieber's world tour. And at this year's Sound of Music Festival in Burlington, Spencer Smith Park was jammed with as many as 80,000 people who watched her free show on a Saturday afternoon. We caught up with her backstage before that show.
It's very exciting. I think it's been the ultimate goal for me for a while to hopefully spread the music, and to be #1 in the U.S. is blowing my mind.
And while Call Me Maybe was a mega hit, a catchy tune coming out of Korea became a true YouTube and pop culture sensation.
Oppan Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style. Oppan Gangnam Style.
Psy's Gangnam Style video has been watched more than 940 million times on YouTube. Keep in mind, it was released in mid-July. It even bumped Justin Bieber's Baby off as the most watched YouTube video ever. The tune can be heard at sporting events, bars, and all over the radio and web. Psy even appeared with Ellen DeGeneres and Britney Spears, teaching them some of his hip-shaking and arm-swinging moves. Prisoners in Thailand have learned the jaunty move, and Psy even showed UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon how to dance Gangnam Style, kind of. The blockbuster song has clearly changed his life. He's reportedly working now on a duet with the Biebs, and the song is so big that at one point this year, he even complained about how his song was more popular and well-known than he was. Well, up next, deadly gun violence. While the death tolls were higher in high-profile shooting sprees south of the border, the scenarios in 2 shootings north of the border left everyone nervous.